here today with a handful of team racers. Farthest at the end, Mr. Caleb Klein from the Rusty Dogs of War. Next to him, Mr. Tim Skipper from Team Skipper. Michl Justine from Team Cycling Power. Team Breathe America is closest to me, Steve Lindbeck, and then next over is Team ZOE International and Aiken. So we're just going to have a quick chat here and kind of see how you guys approach this race and talk a little bit about what you're doing out there. Steve, I'll start with you. You can grab that microphone right there. We're just going to pass the mic on down. Test. Should be on.
It's good.
So why don't we talk a little bit about last year and how you got to this year. Had a little bump in the road. You're supposed to be racing.
Yep.
Turned out you were unable to be. I'll let you explain why. And I know you guys went through a lot of pretty extensive preparation with the team last year.
Yep.
Tell us about that and if you went through that again this year.
We did. So the short story is Team Breathe America is in partnership with the American Lung Association, and we've raised a lot of money for them and done a great job on that. Last year, we were all set to go. We were 2 hours from the starting line on Saturday morning, and we had an outbreak of COVID on our team. And of the 23 racers and crew that we had on the team, within a couple days, 18 of them had COVID. And it was a pretty aggressive outbreak of COVID. So we had to pull out 2 hours before the race started. Pretty devastating moment for the team, for all of us. We were pretty upset. But one of the racers that morning, while we're recoiling and dealing with the pain of saying we had to stop this project, one guy said, "Let's go back next year." And that kind of kept us going for a while. Took us about a month to decide we were coming back, but we're back. We're stronger than ever. We've got a terrific team, and we're excited to be here.
And so you did some preparations in Texas last year with the whole team, or pretty much all of them. Was it Texas?
It was Arizona last year.
And Vegas this year?
Yeah, we went to Vegas for training camp and had a wonderful time. Spent a week, training in the hot weather and in the hills, and getting ready for this.
Perfect. So, Mr. Nate Aiken from ZOE International. I know this is not your first RAAM.
That's right.
It's Zoe's fourth.
Yes, right.
And how have things changed over the years for you? How changed how you prepare, what you do? Have you changed the approach to the race? Because you've had 3 really good races.
Yeah, we've been very fortunate. First off, I want to thank Race Across America and the organization for organizing and hosting. We're excited and fired up to be here, representing ZOE International. Things that have changed over the years, we've had a solid core. A lot of new riders in 23, and this time we have most of the team returning. This feels like a very good energy, a very good vibe. Training's been solid for probably about a year now of our whole team, and the camaraderie is strong, so we're super excited to be out there.
Cool. We look forward to it because you have had some great races, and we'll get back to what you're racing for in a little bit because it's a really fascinating thing that I think a lot of people don't really realize. Yes. So we're going to go to Michl here. He is a rookie. Yep. So on a 2-person team. So these guys all got it easy, except you really have to work hard. And you're coming from up north. So how did? And I know you've been preparing a lot. You raced at the WTTC World Time Trial Championships last fall in Borrego Springs. How do you plan to deal with the desert heat and because that's not what you experience at home?
No. We've been to Borrego Springs for a few days the last week. And been there to prepare for the heat, and we've been preparing for the heat at home in the heat chambers, 50 degrees, training 50 degrees. So we're not unprepared for heat. But apart from that, we will do short shifting, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. We know that's about what we can handle before the core temperature will rise too much. So shifting fast and not overdoing it.
Yeah, and that's a really great plan. I mean, unlike the solo racers, you all have the advantage of having teammates with you to take some of that. I know when the solo racers left, it was 108, so 40-something Celsius out there. And it was really hard. It was a tough year out there for people. And, coming from up north, that's not something you get to experience. So the gentleman sitting next to you, Mr. Tim Skipper, You know, I'm not sure since this is RAM number 23 for you, you may have forgotten your first RAMs. you can either clap or gasp a little bit, I think. And,
you never forget your first RAM.
You never forget your first RAM. That's good to hear, Tim. So, out of all these years, you do a pretty good job of bringing new athletes every year. You know, finding crew is always a challenge for everyone around here. We know that. So, you know, over the 23 years, how do you approach finding new riders to take this on? Because we know you've ridden with your sons, friends. Where do you find them?
Well, again, thanks for RAM for putting on a great event. Appreciate you guys so much. Yeah, I mean, it depends on the goals of the team for that year, and we kind of align to what those goals could or would be. So this year we're after a 60-plus mixed record. So we do have a couple racers that have come back on the team again, Brad and Rob, and then we've got a rookie her name's Shelly. She's very fast. Then crew. The usual suspects. I have Bernie, who's been with me, and my son's been with me for years, and many people that have been so loyal to my team. So really thank them, because without getting the crew here, the racers can't do anything really. So yeah, it's a combination of asking around, finding people, and so forth.
Do you know how many teammates you've actually had over the years, individuals? A lot?
I don't. One time I thought it was like 250.
I wouldn't doubt it, because he's raised, just for those who don't know, he's literally raised 2-person, 2-tandem, 4-person, 4-tandem, 8-person, 8-tandem. Is that right? Did I get them all?
Yes. Well, no.
And mixed it.
Fixed gears.
Oh, yeah.
HPVs.
Oh, you did HPV? I didn't know you did HPVs.
Yeah.
My memory gets a little foggy back there.
And recumbents.
Oh boy. See, he's pretty much tried it all, so if anyone has any question about how to suffer out there, just ask him. So, Caleb, we're gonna get back to the cause you're riding for in a minute. I'd like to talk a little bit about the makeup of your team, though, because I believe they're all military veterans, correct?
We are all disabled veterans and challenged athletes.
Okay. And it's a very interesting group of people. And I know there's at least 3 branches of the military. You got them all represented?
We have Army, Navy, and Air Force, and Marines.
There you go. You got them all. So how'd you get this group of people to... You got some strong support from everyone around here for sure. How'd you get this group of people together? You know, because I don't think you're all from the same area. I think you're from all over.
This has been the most unique journey of hand selection, God's favor, and timing. A lot of folks I've either met along the way in terms of athletes or crew members, and they've either raced or crewed for me or my friends or anything along those lines. And it really just came down to a willingness of who wants to do whatever it takes to get the job done, no questions asked.
And that's kind of a good military ethic, right?
Absolutely.
There is no who wants to, I don't want to do that. You just do what it takes.
Absolutely.
And I know about half your racers, the other half I don't know. So it'll be interesting to see how they do and what they think about it. We're going to roll back to Steve, so we're going to play off. Sorry, we got to pass the mic. One of my mics died. So Steve, I know you're doing Breathe America stuff. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do? And I believe most of the members on your team have been impacted by lung issues, whether they're personally or family members or friends. And that's kind of the connection with the team.
Yes, we've as I said, we have this partnership with the Lung Association, because just about everybody, if we start asking around, has a connection to somebody who suffered from lung cancer or emphysema or some kind of terrible lung disease. And all of us on the team have stories like that. In my own case, my wife is a 21-year survivor of advanced stage lung cancer. And so I race for her, and I race to make the same miracle of her survival available for other people. And that's why that's been a big power for our team all along with this. It was not lost on us last year, the irony that we're raising money in support for the Lung Association, and then it was lung disease that knocked us out of the race.
That is a little bit ironic. And again, let's hope that doesn't happen again, because we really like to see it at the other end of the race.
We've had a serious COVID protocol all along this year.
That's a good idea. That is a good idea. So Nate, let's talk a little bit about what ZOE does, because it is a very interesting thing that I think most of us on a daily basis, we may have heard of it, we know what it is maybe, but we don't really realize how prevalent it is. And your teammates, or at least the couple I know, are pretty interesting people that in their involvement in the whole project, we'll say.
Yes, sir. We are led by Brad Ortenzi, a Marine. So we really appreciate you all's service, Caleb. And
Nice hat. I got to give you one.
matches your team colors. Yeah, ZOE is really special. It is so fortuitous that we get to ride our bikes and do an adventure with friends and have a wonderful support crew. Obviously, the training, getting up at 4 a.m. and training is hard, so you have to have a why. One of our unmitigated slogans might be "Embrace the Suck," and in order to do that, you have to have a strong why. It's always been about the kids. So, a chunk of child trafficking, the average age is 14, and so those are the kids we ride for. ZOE is about restoring, preventing, and rescuing those children so they have a safe place to be restored in relationship with their Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And so all glory to God. We're super fired up for that. Each of us will have a certain child written on our arms that we're riding for and praying for and thinking about to give us strength when the battle's hard.
Yeah, again, it's a lot more prevalent than people think. And when I did an interview with you 2 years ago, I think, and my jaw was on the ground. Like I could not believe the stories from your mouths.
Yes, sir. Yeah, if I can.
Yes.
When we first brought it to Lancaster, when Brad and Lori came back from Thailand, a lot of local businesses were a little apprehensive to commit to support because they want to support local causes. And what Brad and Kevin and teams have unearthed is it's happening all over. In Lancaster County, in our homes and cities and towns that you wouldn't suspect it in. So you're exactly right. It's underreported and a big deal.
Yeah, that's very cool. Michl, so you're racing on a two-person mixed team. Yeah, I believe you're both triathletes kind of by background.
Yeah.
And so how do you feel, like, how are you going to translate that into what you're doing, or how have you used that to get you motivated? You know, like he said, you need a why to get up and ride every day. And as a two-person team, it's tough.
Well, Pernilla and I, we do not have any problems motivating ourselves to train at all. Not at all. And we have been doing it for years. And that's actually the reason why this became relevant for us. Because we love to train, do it all the time. Maybe we do it a little bit too much, but that's just the way it is. So we have no problem in motivating ourselves to train at all. So this is actually like the perfect race for us.
Well, that's good, because sometimes people have a really hard time. I will self-admittedly, I hate training. I just want to compete.
I love training, really do, every day.
Do you have families? Do you have kids?
No.
Nope.
Yes,
So
yes, we have. Yes,
No.
we have. We have.
He's like, no, I forgot about them.
Only training.
Only training. No, we have wives and husbands and kids. Most of us, we have grown-up kids.
Oh.
So, and we have deals with our husbands and wives. So we make it all work.
Because that's a tough balance too with a family life. You know, if you have husbands, wives.
It's a matter of choice.
Yeah. Because you do give up time with them to do this, because it does take time to get here.
It's a matter of choice.
Yeah. And they're okay with it, or do you owe them something really nice at the end?
This may sound a little rough, but they have to.
Fair enough. I mean, fair enough. It is a choice.
It is a choice.
Well, it's good. Well, we're glad you're here, and we hope you tackle the course handily, and be careful in the desert. I know we talked a little bit. You plan to do quick exchanges and that. So utilize that to the best of your advantage. I'm sure Tim would back me on that. Use those teammates, and because the desert's tough.
We have a 12-man team with us.
Perfect.
And we feel very well prepared.
Perfect.
But we are rookies. We know that. So we might do mistakes. Of course we will.
There will be live and learn out there. There's live and learn. I will bet you that any of these people who've raced before will tell you that there is no perfect race and there's always something to learn.
Thank you. Yeah.
Perfect. Mr. Skipper, so I know you have a family and you got kids that actually you have raced with and a wife. And how do you balance the efforts you put in? Because like you're not out here for a year. I mean, this is a big time commitment for you. And it is tough to balance work, life, balance, all those things and still be out here.
Everybody's got those challenges, and you know, everybody says, "Oh, I'm busy." Well, you know, I tell them, "Oh, yeah, you want to see my calendar? I'm extremely busy." But you know, as many people pointed out, is you make time to do the things you love and you're passionate about. So I love putting a team together. I love to train. Sometimes the years balance one way or the other. This year's been tougher than normal for all that, but we got here again.
So have you changed how, like 23 times doing this, you've obviously learned something along the way, I hope. Not
Well,
much.
as you pointed out to me many times, Rick, I don't learn.
I was talking to one of the solo racers. They said the same thing. They're like, I don't really know. Oh, it's Valerio. He's like, no, I just keep coming back. I forget what I did last time.
No, we do learn. You know, we learn the big mistakes and we try not to do those again, although those come up every year with the nature of the new team. So we learn from those mistakes and do not make those big mistakes again. Sometimes we do, but that's the goal, is to be safe and efficient and without those mistakes.
Do you get your whole team together and go do any practice training, or do you all kind of do it on your own?
We never get the whole team together. We usually will have one, maybe two training rides in the year, maybe March, April type of thing. But we not the whole crew, not the whole racers generally.
Well, you know, even a little bit's okay, right? Any preparation helps. I mean, we tell people, even if you can get a couple of your racers, a couple of your crew together and go practice, it shows on the road a lot.
Yeah, what we say is, if we can get the crew, it's not about training the race.
You're right.
It's about training the crew. This is kind of how it works. The logistics and the timing, and you got to watch out for this and that. 5 feet from the white.
Yeah. The crews make the mistakes. The riders generally don't.
So yeah, we find that alleviates a lot of the big problems, and they kind of get it after that.
That's perfect. Well, it's good to have you back for number 23. I assume it will be a successful race again.
Good to be back. And I had another one there. I was a official there, team official.
Oh yeah, you were an official, weren't you? So you got to see the other side. So yeah, so you know. All right, Caleb, tell us about what you're riding for.
The big thing for us, unfortunately, this is our fallen flag. Every stripe is full. So this flag has been from the beginning for 4 years, and it started with 2 lines. Whether these people were fallen self-inflicted or fallen in combat or just fallen from life's duties. And then a really cool thing that I'm sure you've touched on previously is how Andrew has partnered with us and with you guys to really help tell this story writ large. And I'm very thankful to have the belief and the support of somebody of that caliber. They came along at a perfect time and said, hey, we actually were looking for a completely different race, but the story is so compelling that we're going to fund it anyway. And all I can do is thank God for allowing. I've got my wife, my kids, my dog over there. I'm actually retiring him after this race. He started this with me 5.5 years ago when Silver State 508 was owned by Rob. And I've learned a lot of hard lessons along the way that I've tried to help others not make the same mistakes, because getting beat down over and over and over for a population of people that are generically already beat down is very defeating. And so basically our motto is, when you've gone through a lot of trauma in life, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, we got to find a better way. A lot of people turn to either, we got the 4 B's, so bottle of pills, bottle of alcohol, taking their life with a bullet. Well, there's got to be a better way, and for us, that's bikes. So we just want to show people, look, we can take literally probably every generic possible disability with every type of bike, from a hand cycle to a tandem. I'm on a trike, we got people on uprights. If we can do this, you can find a way to continue to move forward with whatever you're dealing with, and maybe you can do this too if you so desire.
That's a great thing to demonstrate to people. I think a lot of people give up too easily. You know, whether it be some type of disability, some type of handicap that may have, age, people give up early. You know, there's no reason to. But it's really great that you're out here. Has your team been able to get to? I know a bunch of you were out at World Time Trial Championships last fall, racing kind of individually and as two-person teams. Have you gotten to like train together and do stuff together as a team, or are you all winging it?
No, we have not. Basically, the beauty of this is we've done the Zoom call thing every week to every other week for at least a year. And honestly, we started out with a big wish list and a lot of questions, but we just kept the faith. And we just kept moving forward, and it's grown and it's grown and it's grown. And now we're here. And in all reality, it feels surreal because we spent so much time talking about riding bikes, and now we actually get to ride bikes.
I will end it here only because I know that's what all of you want to be focusing on, not talking to us and sitting here, and I appreciate all of your times. I wish you all the best of luck on the road, and I have no doubt you'll all have a great race. So,
thank you very much.
Keep your nose faced east and keep going. So, thank you guys, appreciate it, and we'll see you tomorrow in June.
Good luck.
Glad you made it this year.
Yeah,
Hopefully all the way to the start line.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it. Yeah, good to see you guys.
You riding
Yep, thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm on the ice.
Good luck.
Yeah, I did it right.
Yeah. You're correct. You're ready to
All right, right?
Yeah, very good.
That's my favorite machine, baby.
It's got wheels, he's probably ridden it.